I'm back. Hi, everybody. I'm Jess, and it's Red Flag Friday, where I have people write in and tell me things about the relationship that's going on, and they're asking if it's a red flag or a green flag or what they should do, and we talk about it. So this is episode 2. If you haven't seen episode 1, you can go ahead and check that out. The full video is on my podcast, which is on YouTube at After the Fall, which is ATF, and you can go check that out. So let's get right into it. We have a female from Southern Ontario, and she writes, "Okay, Jess, I really need advice because I feel like I'm starting to lose myself in this relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for about 7 months, and honestly, the first few months were amazing. He was attentive, affectionate, always wanted to be around me, talking about our future, all of it. But after he moved in, I noticed a huge shift." That does happen. "It's like he became a completely different person. Now, whenever we argue, he gets really loud and aggressive. Not physically, but intimidating." Now, I just want to pause right there. Regardless if when someone's getting angry or you're in a dispute and you're having a disagreement with somebody, and if their reaction makes you feel scared in any way, whether that's emotionally or physically, it's not okay. And that's something that you have to set a boundary for. I think in every relationship, you're going to argue, you're going to have, disputes and not agree on everything. And I think that at the beginning of a relationship, there should be rules to how you fight in your own relationship or how you solve or resolve issues that come up, which they will. That is normal. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I continue to read, that whenever you are feeling unsafe in any way, shape, or form, that's a red flag in itself. You should not be feeling scared or intimidated by your partner in any way. So she goes on to say that he talks over me, raises his voice, slams cupboards, storms around the house, and if I start crying or get visibly upset, he'll either completely ignore or it somehow turns the entire argument back on me. Absolutely not. When someone is slamming cupboards and not using their words, if they're frustrated, that is not okay. That's a personal thing, and there are ways to address that. Let's continue. I'm going to get into that after, but let's continue. It says, like, somehow I end up apologizing even when I brought up something that hurts me. The other night I told him I felt like he'd been distant and dismissive lately, and somehow the conversation turned into him telling me I'm too emotional, too sensitive, and that I always need a problem. And that scary part is I'm starting to question myself now. I'm really sorry that you're feeling like this. This is not okay. It says, I used to be confident and pretty good at communicating, but now I feel anxious bringing anything up because I know it's somehow becomes my fault. But then after the fights, he acts completely normal again, sometimes even extra sweet. So then I feel dramatic for even being upset. My question is to you, how do you know when someone is just struggling with communication and or emotional regulation versus when the relationship is actually becoming emotionally unhealthy? Now, first of all, thank you for writing in. Thank you for trusting me with this and for being vulnerable. That can be super hard. Now, I wanted to bring up that the first thing that stood out to me is when I noticed that the shift that he moved in, and honestly, sometimes once people get comfortable or feel secure in the relationship, their behaviors start showing, the real ones. A lot of the times we put on masks when we first meet somebody. And I'm not saying that that's totally bad. I think that we all put our best foot forward in a relationship when it's new. I'm talking about the deep-rooted characteristics of somebody or their traumas. They come out. Somebody can only hide behind a mask for so long. That starts to become pretty obvious. Now, obviously, I do not diagnose people. I'm a social service worker, so that's not a part of my medical background at all. But I do see a lot of narcissistic qualities in this type of behavior. You know, most narcissists do not have remorse for hurting somebody. It will always be that they are the victim. That is true in any relationship that I've ever been in with somebody who showed those type of characteristics. And it's also in a part of my life where I've shown them. I think we all have the ability and we all have those characteristics in us. It's whether we recognize them and stop them, or if, you know, we do have those things for whatever reason. Now, and even if someone isn't physically touching you, if your nervous system feels anxious, intimidated, or unsafe during conflict over and over, your body starts to prepare for conflict before it even happens. So your body is stuck in this constant flight or fight or freeze mode, which is exhausting. Personally, I've been through this, and a lot of my clients that come to me are in this situation right now. And it's really about regulating that nervous system again, and allowing you to feel safe and allowing you to rest and let your body heal from that. So I'm really sorry that you're feeling like that. And for anybody that's feeling like that right now, I am so sorry. And I want you to know that it won't always be like that. And that help is out there for you to get to help regulate that nervous system. And I think that's why you're starting to feel that way, is that, you know, you're feeling anxious. And then the whole, you know, you're too sensitive. I kind of hate that line. I hate when people, you know, weaponize how you're feeling and, you know, kind of use the cop out to not hold themselves accountable or not take accountability for how you're reacting to their treatment from you or from them. I think is gross. And I'm going to be personal about it. I'm going to be honest about that. I think it's gross. And then, you know, the point where he said, like, he turns around and he's super sweet with you. Like, that is just, it's very manipulative. It's giving manipulative for the younger people. It's giving not great. It's giving gross. And I could see how that can become confusing, you know, that maybe it's not that bad or maybe I'm overreacting. But like, healthy relationships should not constantly leave you confused. And or emotionally drained or scared to communicate. And honestly, one of the biggest questions I ask people is, are you becoming more yourself in this relationship or less? You know, are you losing parts of yourself in this relationship? And if the answer is yes, that's not the relationship for you. And I think sometimes we spend too much time trying to understand why somebody acts the way that they do. And we stop asking ourselves how their behavior is actually affecting us. You can have empathy for somebody and still recognize that the relationship dynamic isn't right for you. These two things can exist together. So I hope that some of that guidance helps you and helps you figure out how you're going to navigate this next or how you're going to move forward. You know, and if it does get physical, please reach out to a healthcare professional near you. Crisis, call the police. A lot of the times this type of abusive behavior, slamming doors, screaming in your face, you know, things like that can escalate very quickly, and it happens quickly. And I don't think that's talked about enough. And so I hope that this finds you safe, and I hope that you're able to navigate this in a safe way. And for anybody out there that's going through this right now, and you need to reach out and talk to somebody, please do. Whether that's somebody in your local area, or a friend or a trusted family member, you don't have to go through this kind of thing alone. And know your worth. You're worth more than that. And I want to raise that question up again is, you know, is the relationship serving you? Are you becoming the best version of yourself in this relationship or continuing to be that? Or are you becoming the smallest version of yourself? And I think that is a question that the answer will give you some clarity. So thank you again for writing in. I appreciate you writing in and trusting in me. And like I said, for anybody that is feeling like this, you're not alone. Talk to somebody. Silence and being silent about it only isolates you. And it really, that's what they want. They want you to be isolated. Now, just for a disclaimer, I'm not claiming that this man is abusive or physically abusive or that he's a narcissist. I'm saying that these are the patterns that I'm noticing from a professional perspective. So it's definitely something that should be addressed. But thank you again for writing in. I hope to see you guys soon. I'm going to be creating more content. I want to start more discussions about relationships and mental health and red flags and green flags. And I hope we get some green flags in as well. I know it's called Red Flag Friday, but I hope that we get some green flags coming in for some positive content. But thank you again, and I hope to see you guys soon. We'll talk soon. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.